So group interviews aside, we will focus on the interviews that you guys land through value bonds. Okay, because group interviews are a very different game. A lot of them are they play the game very differently. Okay, so we'll deal with that on a separate call. But in its essence, all interviews are the same because they are simply just testing you. Okay, they are simply just testing you directly or indirectly. Okay, and regardless what they test you, you must know what is the essence. If you know what is the essence, you can handle all kinds of variations. Okay. On our calls, I always ask you, what is the essence? What is the why? You need to make that a habit to stop yourself. Okay. Or you ask each other when you're, chatting with each other, when you practice, ask each other, ask yourself, like, wait, what is the why? Like on your role play with Elson and Lian, you said that, oh, I want to find a mentor. Like, can I get access to the mentor? And then you say, okay, I think I've already clarified most of it. So, you told Lian that you don't have to clarify too much. Actually, no, she needs to clarify everything. Like, wait. When you say mentor, it sounds like you've had one before. So what am I doing here? I'm trying to understand your trigger word, right? I'm pulling out, and I covered this with Vincent a lot of times. We're pulling out your pivotal experiences. Experiences shape your beliefs without you realizing it. Sometimes the person don't even realize it, right? To them, it's just, oh, it's just an everyday thing. So I don't think we need to explore. No, I'm interested. Please do tell me more. And you need to get in character. You need to get in character as the person that is actively seeking a solution because the character you're playing is yourself. Like right now in July 2025, you have already calmed down. You've already settled in, and you're not as hot, you're not as in pain, you're not reminded of your urgency, right? Until someone press on your wounds, until someone press on your buttons, until someone press on the places that hurt, right? And obviously, if you are in character, okay, like you guys probably have each enough trust and rapport with each other to let that play out naturally. And it has to be because when the person books a call, they are not like 7 months and their wound has healed. The wound is very real. The wound is fresh. The pain is like right now, and I want to solve it today. So imagine, like, don't say you have no money or what. Like, imagine now you have just made $5,000 in commissions in your bank. There's 5,000 US dollars in your currency, and you no longer have the problem of, oh, I'm not making enough money, right? That problem is already behind you. You have next level problems, which is maybe, I don't know, you want to renovate your house or you want to, buy something, a car in Malaysia or something, and you meet a salesperson. How is your attitude like, Nelson?
I want this, like I really want this thing. Then I want this thing to be solved. Yeah. I want this thing to be solved. Like
Yeah,
I,
you
I
would
have
have a
this issue that I
more.
want
Yeah, okay, go on.
yeah, I have this like issue that I really want to solve. And if the person can uncover like my needs or like the problem to my sorry, the like to yeah, can uncover my needs, then I'll definitely want to buy with that person.
So how would your attitude be like on the call?
Mm, as a salesperson, is it? Or as
No,
the
you are the
prospect?
prospect.
On the prospect, I'll be in pain. I will be um asking like questions of like whether this particular thing can help me solve my problem or not.
Yes,
Yeah.
correct. So the need is real, right? It's raw, and
Yes.
you're quite discerning. You probably want a better price or a more value, or you'll be asking questions, you'll be checking a lot of things. So
Correct.
that's the
Yeah.
attitude. When you play a prospect, you need to be fully in that character.
Okay. I'll try that again.
If not, when you get a real live prospect, you actually cannot feel what they feel. You don't know what they're going through. So you don't know how to place your words properly.
Right.
Okay, so same with the interview. You must always know what the essence is. Okay, and the habit to do that is to clarify. Okay, wait. Why are you saying that? right? Or what is the why that drives that? What is the essence? You need to practice asking that, practice asking each other that, and at your own time, you have to stop yourself and say, wait, do I really know why this is happening? Like why this person wrote this or why this person said this instead of that? You need to practice this muscle. Otherwise, on your sales calls, on your interviews, you're just reacting to words. You don't know why this thing is happening. And you're just processing like one data here, one data there. Right? If you are working with data, just copy paste, transferring data, that's fine. But in our space, we are not just transferring data. When someone says, do you have experience? Yes, I don't have. No, I don't have. Then you did. Why they ask, hey, Lian, thanks for coming on this interview. Tell me more about yourself. Do you have any experience? Yes, I have experience. No, I have no experience. If you just do it like data transfer and you don't find out why they ask, how do you know how to place your answers? That's why in that role play, Lian as a closer, you didn't know how to navigate. Should I go through, his list of money options? Should I do the two paths? Hey, why you didn't know how to navigate? It's because you didn't clarify. Dude, you said you want more time. I've done a lot of these calls, and most of the times, I'm not saying it's you, but most times when people say they need more time, what they're really saying is, I'm not interested in your offer. So to save yourself the time, to save myself the time, I don't want to keep chasing after you. If you feel like I've seen your offer and nope, it is not for me, you can just give me a no right now. There's absolutely no hard feelings. Unless there's something I missed. Like, is there something that we didn't address? So why am I saying this? Because I want to find out what's the deal with no time. How can there be such a thing as no time? Right? You want to sign the deal now? We can sign on Tuesday, right? Why do you say Friday? Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. What's happening on Wednesday that's different from Tuesday? What's happening on Thursday that's different from Wednesday? Why do you need 3 days to decide? So if it's a no, I can absolutely take a no. Unless you're willing to share like what's gonna happen those 3 days. And then you got to listen. From here, everything changes. All kinds of variations will drop from their mouth. Then you know how to navigate. And you got to be really looking at the why at the back of their words. It's the assurance, it's the transparency, it's the spirit of, hey, the more you share, the more we can help you. That way, you know how to prepare for the next few steps on that role play, even though it's just a role play. Okay, and you as the prospect, Alson, when you
Mm-hmm.
say, oh, I need more time, you need to really create a congruent. You know what is congruent?
Nope.
It means at every touch point, it is the same. Like your story is the same throughout. You
Right.
don't say, oh,
Okay.
I need more time. And then she tries to dig. And then you're like, oh, no, actually, I have the money. Actually, let's go. Actually, no, wait. Then it's like, does this character make sense? Is it
Mm.
is it organic? Is it a real character? Because when greenhorns roleplay, if you have the chance to see your fellow peers who are green, they'll say, "Oh yes, yeah, yeah, I have this." Okay, and then okay, deal close. Okay, but does it tally? Like so when you play a prospect, even for Leon or Vincent, when you play the prospect or an interviewer and you say, "I need more time," you have to have a very congruent storyline in your head that, okay, I'm not going to tell the closer, but I'm going to say I need more time because the real reason is because I doubt so many things. I doubt if I can actually excel in this program. The belief is on myself. I doubt myself. I doubt you guys. I doubt your offer. I doubt you guys are legit. And it's all these things, right? And I doubt if I pay, I might not have the money to pay my bills for months three and months four going down. So it's so many things, right? And I am having difficulty processing all these beliefs. So in that moment, I don't want to make a decision now. And I'm like, sorry, man, I just don't want to make a decision now. I'm just gonna have to Think about this. This happens
So
all the time.
so the time is just the surface level, and then the
Yes. And you playing the prospect, you have to keep all of this in your character and it has to be real. Like you have to be
okay.
very congruent with this thing. You cannot say that, oh, I'm going to say I need more time first, and then I'm going to figure out why I say that maybe as the role play continues, right? And then later on, 5 minutes later, you forgot. You forgot why you said that. So you create this detail. Oh, yeah, yeah, I'm shifting house. And then she said, oh, shifting house aside, does the process make sense? And they said, oh, no, actually, I can put a deposit now. So it's like, huh? Then how am I going to close? Because in a real call, that prospect does not change character. They don't have split personality. When they come on the call as that real person in pain, they are that real person in pain.
Okay.
Just like you in real life, you felt sick,
Right.
right? You're frustrated, your nose is leaking and, you can't talk straight, you don't feel good. Like this thing, do you think it suddenly changes? Oh no, I'm moving house, right? No, you,
No.
you are in that very real spot. It does not change. So when you role play, you have to be a very good method actor and really play that real person. The easiest way to do that is to just be that part of you that was once like real.
So just relive the experience all over again.
Yes, you just fly back into that version of you and you just stick to that character and say that these are my doubts and these are my concerns. I've paid 1K before, 1K in Singapore dollars, that's more. And I had to
Right.
go back, to work 3 months of cold calling and I hated every day of it. So when you say I'm looking for a mentor, there's all these experiences in that word.
Right.
So when
Okay.
Leanne tried to check, how can you say, oh, there's nothing, you can just move on. There's not much to check. Because why? You already role played this character so many times. You're sick and tired of repeating yourself. Every day, Marcus down, Marcus down, Marcus down. You're sick of repeating yourself. But cannot. You have to, no matter how sick and tired you are of telling your stories, writing your copy, you got to understand that for someone on the other side, it's their first time seeing. Like if a new student comes in, they role play with you, you're so sick of repeating yourself, right? You still have to say, oh, yeah, I spent 1K, right? But in that moment, you have to lock in and be that character. If not on a real call, you don't know how to navigate.
Right. Okay, that makes sense.
Okay, so that's finding the why. Okay, on interview, so circling back to interview, it is the same. Leanne, you have a question?
Oh no, just now I was just a bit confused. Then I think I'm okay. Like
Mhm.
about the congruent, because I thought you were talking about interviews. Then after that you were talking about role plays. So I was a bit confused. So
Yeah, so when you role play, you can actually role play as a prospect. Sorry, yeah, you can role play as a closer and prospect. You can role play as a business owner and a closer attending the interview. Both are sales calls, you realize?
yeah,
So if business owner, let's say Vincent, you role play as a business owner, you cannot suddenly say, oh, I have a 5K offer. And then afterwards you say, oh no, I'm looking for three closers. Like, who is this character, right? And is it realistic? If you cannot uh if you find that you cannot play an impromptu character congruently, okay, write that character out first. Type it out, write it down, and stick to that. And in fact, after the role play, you can just show your partner, okay, look, this was the character I was playing, and these were the top three concerns. You managed to find two, you missed out the third one. That's why you didn't get the sale from me. Now it's a fair game, right? Now it's like it's pre-established beforehand. So the whole role play is as real as a real call.
Do you
When
have that script? Sorry, didn't mean to cut you off, but I remember I see something like that during your
yes,
complete
it's in the
closer challenge,
challenge.
right? Okay,
Yes,
okay. So can just copy that, use that as the foundation and just build on that lah.
correct.
Okay.
So if you are the prospect or the business owner, you need to play that character well so that your partner can close a realistic call. Then they will be willing to get into character and play that role out for you. So it works both ways. You cannot say it's so tiring, I always have to play this character for my buddy. You need each other. Okay. So again, you're clear now, right? That it's the same thing.
yeah,
Okay. So there will be all kinds of variations for these questions. Okay. I'm going to change this to toxic objections. This is the one. This is the reason why we have been practicing objections, and we want to upload the best ones on your one pager. When you guys post your content, okay, one shot, just share across Facebook, LinkedIn, and Instagram. Just quickly share. Don't drag it out. Don't take a few hours just to share one thing in 3 spots. Okay. These are your revenue generating activities. No one on my interviews, even when I had no experience, none of them ever asked me not a single thing about my experience. You see the copy I wrote yesterday on my Closer account, which is kind of the same thing that I've been helping you guys to write for your copy. Okay, calls equal time. As a business owner, this is what you missed out, Nelson. You need to call out your ICA. Okay, for now, your ICA is a business owner. Okay, and I don't want to deal with like A plus teams. I don't want to deal with A plus teams that have a big team and they do a group interviews. I prefer, like, I know who my ICA is. Okay, because there's a certain sweet spot that I'm going for. Okay. And this business owner is not like A plus plus. They're probably like B plus A minus, where Saba was in 2021. And at the time, she was taking her own calls and she was closing and she was burnt out. So I have this very specific ICA in mind because I know that these kind of teams is where I thrive. Just one business owner, just let me be your number 2, let me handle everything. Kind of like you and Alvin, okay, except that Saba was a lot stronger. So, hey, I know that sales call, you took it yourself, right? How long was it? 60, 90 minutes? That's worth 10K or more of your time, business owner. And the reason why you're taking all these calls is because you're worried, can someone actually replace you? So you do it yourself. But you know that sooner or later, if you don't delegate, you're going to have problems in your business, in your life. So the question is not when do you delegate? The question is, who do you feel secure giving these calls to? Not someone fresh out of a course, not someone still role playing, but someone who's all in full time. Okay. Who, in your voice, through your brand spirit and purpose, with your client's best interest in mind, I take every call seriously and I trust that your offer can bring them the transformation they desire. Okay, let's talk. So when I wrote this, okay, you might say that, does this apply to someone with no experience? Yes. This is exactly the kind of copy that I wrote when I had no experience. Okay. And nowhere in here does it say that I have experience. Which line here says I have experience? I said that you don't want someone fresh out of a course. You don't want someone who's still role play. I didn't say whether I am this or not. Do you get what I'm doing here? What am I doing here?
You are calling out to your ICA.
Yes, and I'm protecting my weaknesses and enhancing my strengths. The truth is, I am fresh out of a course. The truth is, I am still role playing. Okay, but what's the difference between me and these guys? I am here to do this professionally full time. This means that I won't be, doing a waitress job and then, work part time here and then get distracted. Like, I take this professionally, which means that I know how this works. Okay, I'm thorough. I'm thorough with my approach. And you don't need to worry if someone is green, even though I could be green, but I'm a professional. This is my best. Like, without experience, the best I can bring to the table is professionalism. Okay, so here I completely protected my weaknesses, right? I didn't say I'm role playing. I didn't say I'm new. I carry myself like a
Professional.
Professional.
professional. Okay, because I know that's what business owners want to see. So because of the way I protected my brand, every time I show up, I'm a professional. Okay, every time I show up, I'm a professional. Every time I show up, I'm a professional. Every time I show up, I'm a professional. So because of this, and I post fast, right? Once I post Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, Instagram, I just post. Okay. Because of that, by the time I get on the interview, none of them have asked me questions like this, like, oh, we're only looking for proven closes. Okay, how much have you closed? What is your numbers? Obviously, you guys will not have anything to say. Okay, so you need to preempt, pre-handle, prepare for these kind of questions in advance by constantly pre-selling yourself. This is why your content is absolutely important. So that by the time the interview happens, they already know that they're speaking with someone who doesn't really have a lot of experience. So they're not going to attack you with this. Is everyone following what I'm saying? What's the essence of what I'm saying?
You are saying that you are green, but at the same time not green.
Yes, and I do that in my content so that as much as possible,
Like you avoid
Avoid that.
yes. Okay, because in all my interviews, no one has ever asked me for this. You know why? Isn't this important? Why don't they ask me this?
Because they assume that you have really got the experience to do it.
No, I don't have experience at that time. Okay. In our pure commissions world, every country has their variation of this, even offline businesses. Okay, there are pure commission salespeople like you, like me. The reality in a pure commission space is that the churn is brutal. Okay, what is churn? CHURN. It is the rate of which salespeople like us get hired and fired. Do you know why?
Not up to expectation.
Yes. You know why? Why not up to expectations?
don't know.
Because there's no base salary. That's why you guys are not motivated to post. That's why you guys are not motivated to finish your tasks sharp, precise, on time. That's why you guys do not wake up on a fixed timing and have a fixed schedule. Because there's no base salary. If now I lock you guys up in the office, I say report to office, your base salary is 3K, 4K. And then you have a manager checking everything you do. You ask Vincent, that's where he works. It's the corporate world. You cannot make mistakes. You cannot keep taking MC. You cannot, try to trick your manager. You cannot be late. What does this result in a pure commission world is that you get two extremes. You either get someone like me who like closes like his life depended on it, right? Or you get people that just have no structure because they feel like, it's freedom. I'm already free because I have no boss. I'm already freedom. So you get two extremes. You get someone like me that is like, since I'm commission based, I have to go and prospect. Since I'm commission based, I cannot oversleep. Since I'm commission based, I have to get up and go and hunt. Because if I don't hunt, I have no base salary. And on the other extreme is you see a lot of your peers now, they will join a team and then they will just complain and then they will just quit because there's no base salary. Okay, so when the churn is high, okay, this thing is secondary. Okay, how much have you closed in the last 6 months, Elson? Okay, these questions become secondary when the churn is high because when they look at this, they will see that And a lot of business owners know this, okay? Where the moment you talk to them, in the last 3 weeks, in the last 3 months, they've probably hired and fired a lot of salespeople. Do you guys understand what I'm saying? When you get on an interview, that business owner has been frustrated by previous salespeople. This happens all the time. You need to understand this so you can use this to your advantage. That's why they are not even at a headspace to say how much can you make. They just want you to be professional. I keep saying professional. What is professional?
Doing up on time.
Yeah, there are no mistakes. You do everything perfectly. That's what they pay you for. You ask Vincent when he does his sales, can he be late? Can he miss out a receipt? Can he not update his CRM? Can he, say something wrong, promise something wrong on a deal? He cannot. He will lose his job. So in our remote world, it is the same. But a lot of these kids they don't have this kind of basic professionalism, and they're like, I want freedom or laptop lifestyle. They will not last a day in Vincent's office. Okay. So in our space, the advantage you have therefore is not your experience, it's your professionalism. Okay. And your PMP, okay, your personal media platform, that is all your social media channels. They signal your
Professionalism.
You're selling your professionalism. In the corporate world, okay, for Vincent to land this job, he had to do up his resume. Okay, go send in his resumes, attend interviews, okay, and then answer all kinds of questions, get hired, go on probation for I don't know how many weeks, how many months, hit KPIs and then pass probation, and then he get his salary and commissions. That's the corporate world. In the remote sales space, okay, it's not that stringent, it's not that structured. So you have an advantage because they sort of look at you over the weeks, like Alvin looking at you. You probably don't even know when he started looking at you, right? They start looking at you through your PMP. They don't need your resume. They don't need to know how much you can close before. They start looking at you through your PMP. So your PMP has to preempt all these questions before the interview happens. What does this approach remind you of? If this were a sales call, before the prospect gets on the call, if this were a sales call, before your prospects get on the call, what
You
should
have
you
to
do?
fill up like a
The
form or
homework,
something.
the research.
Yes, before your prospects get on the call,
Okay.
if they know nothing about you, your chances are much lower, right? If before the call they have already seen your webinar, they've already seen your signature process, they have already seen your client wins, they've already seen your Q&A, now you have a much higher chance. This is the inbound method. Along the way, you already closed them. Same thing for an interview. Before the interview even happens, your PMP has to
Close them.
yes, already pre-sell them, like who you are, where are you based, what's your story. If you work as a nurse before, you're going to say that all the time. I work as a nurse, I work as a nurse, I work as a nurse. For Elson, I did cold calling before, I did cold calling before, I did cold calling before. It's always in your PMP. You're always pre-selling yourself because why? You know that once you get on the interviews, these questions are going to hit you. So your content has to hit them first. Okay. And you as a fully commission-based remote salesperson, these are your income generating activities. Not directly, but they are directly responsible for your income. If in a year you make, let's say, a very conservative 30,000 US dollars, that one post you just make, how much is it worth? That one call that you take, even if that post doesn't make money, even if the call doesn't make money, but you take the $30,000 divided by all those posts, divided by all those calls in a year, that activity has a what?
Price tag?
Yes, there is a value to it. That's why I asked you on one of your first calls, right? Now, if your friend asks you out for supper, do you go? Because you travel there 1 hour, you sit down, talk rubbish with them 2 hours, you travel back another 1 hour, that's 4 hours gone. You could have bombed 4 salespeople.
John, I have a
Same thing.
questions. Yeah, I have a questions to you. During
Wait.
the
So that copy that you just took 4 hours to post, how much you lost? But to you, it's
A
like,
lot of
oh, I have
money.
freedom, maybe I go, style my hair first, and then I check myself out in the mirror, and then, I watch some shorts. Okay, now I post. Wait, Sean messaged me, then I post.
I completely forgot to post. I was about to go to sleep, and then after that, I was brushing my teeth.
So
Then I
you
realized
guys are confusing the freedom for the wrong kind of freedom. This is giving you too much rope. You start to use the rope to hang yourself. So your revenue generating activities, which one is the most important? Write it down. At the start of your day, all these activities, okay, Mondays to Fridays, which one is the most important? To land all these interviews, which one is the most important? Okay. What time is the best time to post? Just because you write the copy in the morning, it doesn't mean that you have to post in the morning, because what time is your ICA awake? That's a different thing, right? If you want to attack our Singapore, Australian time zone, you post at a different time. Maybe you get up really early to write, but you would post at night, or the other way around, right? So creating your content is not the same as publishing it. And then that time that you use to write the copy. I'm not asking you guys to write as fast as me. I know I write very fast. Okay, I'm not asking you to write as fast as me. I'm saying that by practicing, you progressively shorten the time that you take to write. I just need you to progressively shorten the time. So if now you need 2 hours to write, okay, you set your alarm. Okay, if 9 a.m. you have to write it, you have to get up at 7. If you take 2 hours, by 11 a.m. you have to finish it. And then you go for lunch. Okay. And then you come back. If it's a role play, okay, that role play has to be done. 1, I close you. 2, you close me. Maximum 90 minutes. So then the rest of the day, you can still do a lot of things. If the whole day is just one copy, 5 hours, another role play, and then you're done. This day is a very unproductive day. And then if your whole week is like that, your whole week is unproductive, then that month you have no income because you have no base salary. So a lot of people, they cannot survive in such an environment because they don't have the self-discipline to lead themselves like a very tough boss. You know what's the consequence? See, now I'm selling you the hell. You know what's the consequence? The consequence is you will go into a job and do the same exact thing. Just that instead of me, you have a much tougher boss that's breathing down your neck to force you to do everything. If not, you're fired. So if you want the freedom in our space, you have to be that tough boss on yourself, not me, not another boss that to keep you in check. Okay, that's why you as each other accountability partner, right? What time does the copy need to be created? And when does it get published? And how can we do it in the least amount of time? Then for the role play, I close you, you close me. Maybe we practice once a day and that's done. The rest of the day, I can still study. I can still add business bonus. I can still create value bombs. All these activities needs to be in your one day. And then when you join a team, that whole day is going to be used to Same thing, create content, prospect, get on calls and close. Is this not the lifestyle you guys want? This is not a game, it's not wake up, play a game for 3 hours and then go back and sleep. Okay, you have to transform your workplace like mine. This is my bedroom, but you can see I transformed it to become my
Office, your workstation.
yes, this is my office. This is a very serious space. When I'm here, everything gets done. And then I sleep just beside. But here, I get everything done. If you cannot control your environment like this, in my challenge, the first step I already put environment, because I know everyone dies to the environment when they work from home. That's why I put in my challenge, I know first thing, take a photo of your environment and send me. Okay. This kind of professionalism, it will bleed out of your PMP. If you are this person, it will just come through your PMP. Then business owners will keep coming after you and they will not ask you how much you can make. Why?
They already know how you are.
They want this quality. They want this quality. They want the professionalism. They want that work ethic. Why? Why do they want that?
Because it's rare in the industry.
Yes. Okay. It has to do with your ICA's pain. It is their pain. They are having to deal with salespeople that they have to hire and fire all the time. Remember churn? They are sick of hiring and firing salespeople that they have to babysit all the time. So you showing up like this every single day, they are at least 50% pre-sold on you.
I have a question.
No, Vincent first.
Sorry.
Bec- Based on the interviews that I attended, normally tell me more about your background is normally the first questions. And at that point, let's say we are new, do you normally share with the business owners as well, or the influencers, that a bit of background, and then saying that this is also you are new and something like you're willing to do the work kind of things?
Yeah.
Because
Okay, Leanne, your question?
It's just about like the social media thing. Because like, I don't know. Maybe it's not very important, but then like I realized ever since like I started like posting for business owners, right? Then like the likes and everything kind of went down. Like not many people are engaging already.
Okay, so I'll answer. Before I answer this, in your other program, there's this lady from Hong Kong. I think her name is Celia. I quite like her a lot. She quit her corporate job to do this full time. And in her corporate job, she was, like Vincent, professional. Okay, these are all hired professionals, but they cannot make mistakes. She took her work ethic from that corporate stint. I don't know, a few years. She was sick of it to come into remote sales. She brought that work ethic into remote sales. So you look at her social media, every day she's posting, yes. Do you see?
Yeah.
And then she tried some selling roles and cannot. Then she went into a hybrid role, and now she's in a full closing role, and then she's already closing. And I've been following her for months, I can see her work ethic and I can see how she's been progressing. This person is like never give up. This lady is fantastic. Okay, that's the kind of work ethic that business owners want. So if I were hiring, I would hire her. Because I follow her stories, I follow her posts. It's like from a business owner perspective, we can see. So you cannot try to bullshit through your PMP. They can just see through everything. Okay. I'll answer Vincent's questions first. This thing happens all the time. It's like the interviewer don't know what to say. They just say, okay, tell me about yourself. Okay, it happens all the time. Or even when they do know what they want to say, okay, tell me more about yourself, right? It's like a super open-ended question. Okay, again, it's giving you enough rope to hang yourself because you can literally go in any direction with this. Okay, but remember what did I say at the start of this call? No matter what the variation is, always
Know the essence.
yes, Vincent, always go back to the essence. What's the essence here in this interview conversation?
You mean what is the essence in that question?
In this context, the context now is an interview.
What is the context on this hiring a remote closer role or kind of things?
The context is that this is a sales call.
Yeah.
And you are speaking with your ICA. Okay, remember I said your ICA doesn't change. So all of them want the same thing. What do they want?
Professionalism.
That's what I say. And that is my coaching process. Right? You as the buyer's journey, you want more commissions. Right? You want a great team. They are as the buyer's journey. What do they want?
Someone with good ethics who can close.
Yeah, Alson and Lin, you can answer as well. Okay, what in this context, what does the ICA want? Now you're looking at the interviewer, you don't know what they want. How are you gonna close them?
Someone that will show up on time to and do their and get their work done.
That's the VA. The VA will show up on time and get the task done. But they hired you, the sales pro, for what?
Close more sales.
Exactly. They want to make sure that when they place you in their pipeline, you can bring in, as a seller, more book calls, quality book calls, or more sales, or both. That's the end result. So if you lose track, okay, I'm recording this call. I don't want to repeat myself. Okay, if you lose track of this, you don't know what the call is about. They want more sales. So no matter what the variation is, they ask, what's your favorite color, right? Or that question they threw at Vincent, which is like so far away. Right? They ask you, what does the dog say to the cat? And then you're like, huh? Right? There's all kinds of variations, but in its essence, they want more sales. So you getting onto this call is simply to demonstrate how you can bring them more calls and more sales. When you get to the point where you've been through your first team, you have some wins. Your second team, you have some wins. Your third team, you have some wins. And now your one pager is fat, like its results. You're no longer worried about all these things, right? Then you have a much easier time getting on interviews. But the initial hurdle when there's nothing, okay, you have to use your PMP, okay, your legit professionalism and your closing skills to close them on an interview. So you go listen to my interviews, none of them ask about, what are my metrics, how much money can I close? Because I know that the only thing I could offer at the time is my attitude and my understanding of how to close. That's all I had. Okay, so tell me more about yourself. Do you tell them about your family history? Do you tell them about what you wanted to do, your dream as a child? So what should your answer, like what should the direction generally be?
How you can close more deals for them, bring in more sales for them.
Yes, but do you say this directly? Like, hi, my name is Elson. Tell me more about yourself. My name is Elson. I'm here to bring you more book calls and more sales. Do you say that directly?
No.
So what's the technique to express yourself? Every time there's a belief to be established or shifted, what's the technique we use?
Story selling?
Yes. Okay, so how do you do a story sell in this scenario? Oh, my name is Elson. I'm 21 this year, and I just graduated a few years ago from school. And along the way, I decided that, that's not a path I want to go because I can see that our space is growing rapidly, and a lot of people are now coming online to get help. And especially with your product, the XXX product that you have, I can see that it's helped a lot of people. And I can see that your purpose, right, your company's purpose is to blah, blah, blah. And so me, I'm new, I'm coming into this space. I want to help people with products like yours to achieve X. What did I just do here? Did I really talk about myself?
No.
What did I do?
Story selling.
I started by talking about myself. I sound like I want to tell my story, but I'm really talking about
Problem.
I'm talking about my ICA. I'm not talking about myself. You will see a lot of closers make this classic mistake. They keep talking about themselves. Nobody cares about that on the interview. They care about what you can do for their company. And the fact that you are able to say that, look, I researched you. I even know your program name. I even know why you have this company. Sometimes you have to do your best guess, and it's more like, correct me if I'm wrong, but I can see that your company helps these group of ICA get these results. And I dropped out of school of a Lian, I was in a nursing job and I quit because I find that that's not the path I want to go. I want to make a difference. And coming into this space, I can see that a lot of people are trying to get solutions online. And I can see that your business helps like women after 40s, get back in shape. And I want to be a part of that. So you are talking about yourself, but you've already demonstrated that you've researched them. You understand what they do. And isn't this what a professional does? You're prepared for the call. Okay, so tell me more about yourself. It's not just say anything. Okay, you have to understand the context. Why are they asking that? And therefore, how can you frame your answer to hit their decision-making process? Okay, so I hope this answers the tell me more about yourself question. Okay, you start with your story. The same as your copy. You start with your hook, and then you twist it around. You sell your process, or you talk about that process, then you talk about the offer and how you can fulfill that process and fulfill that offer. So it's the same thing, just that now your prospect is the business owner. Okay. Engagement is not a sale. Engagement does not explain sales. My engagement is not really high. Okay, but people come in and just buy my stuff. Sometimes I don't even know who they are. I just see my stripe. People buy it and I'm like, who are these people? I don't even know. Sometimes they never even message me. They're just happy to shop. Okay. Sometimes I will hunt them down on social media because I'm trying to upsell them. They don't even reply. So they just buy it and I don't know who they are. Just like Alvin. Before you met Alvin, did he ever like or comment on your post, Elson?
Like once, yeah. Then after he was just messaging me privately.
That's how buyers behave. They don't click, they don't like, they don't comment. It's all happening here. And then when I asked them, I said, why do you buy my, let's say my birthday bundle? And then I've never seen you like this. Oh, I just don't do it.
Isn't it wasting money? Just buy it and do it.
As in they buy, but they didn't engage. They don't have the
Oh.
habit of engaging on social media. But it doesn't mean that they didn't see and they didn't get impacted and they didn't get pre-sold. So buyer behavior is not the same as engagement behavior. Okay. The ones that engage the most, actually, they don't buy at all. If not, they are not buyers. So these people exist to just simply help spike your algorithm so that the buyers can come in. So when you have friends or whoever that support your posts, that's great for the algorithm, but they're not gonna buy your stuff. Okay, so you should much rather have a low engagement but high conversion rather than a high engagement and low conversion. Okay, the high engagement and low conversion businesses are very sad. They're really like the influencers with like 1 million followers and then no money. Okay, those are the very sad influencers. Those with like 1K, like my YouTube is only 2K subscribers, but they're all biased. Because who goes to YouTube to see my videos which are made of slides? Who does that?
Only people that are interested in what you're selling.
Yeah, it's a very specific people who take time out of their day to go to YouTube to study, not to watch some funny video. But they go there to like, oh, how can I improve my life? It's a very small section, but these are the buyers who will opt into my ebook, opt into my funnel, book a call with me, and become a potential client. Okay, so do not worry about engagement. Okay, focus on the quality of your content. And after the role play today, okay, both of you need to demonstrate how you add your ICA. Because actually, when your engagement is low, another sign is that you're not doing your audience growth correctly, or you don't even have an audience growth.
So is that the
Okay, so
content you're posting, lah?
content is content. Audience growth is audience growth.
So how do I
Content
do
is
audience growth?
audience growth are the people that you add into your container daily. Your Facebook friends, your Instagram followers, your LinkedIn connections. This pool, if it doesn't grow, who is going to see your content? Yes, your content might crawl and go and pull people in, but it's not as fast as you actively growing your containers. These 3 containers need to grow. Okay, look at it as a business, not, oh, my friends are not on Facebook, so I don't go on Facebook. Hey, your prospects and your clients are on Facebook, they are on LinkedIn. So when you don't grow that, who's gonna know who you are? Right? Who's gonna give you an opportunity? Okay, so you have to make yourself visible. Okay. So at its essence, we business owners want service. They want professionalism. They know they will say. They are frustrated. They have been frustrated with churn, which is hiring and firing salespeople who cannot perform all the time. So with this in mind, when you story sell, do not directly say that you have these things. Story selling is always indirect. Okay, you can see just now when I demonstrated my answer on, I just graduated and, your goal aligns with me, right? I didn't say that, oh, I am very professional. I didn't say that, right? How did I demonstrate this?
Storytell.
What was the exact thing in my story that indirectly signaled that I have this?
You research beforehand, you understand the product.
Yes, correct. So professionals don't say they're professionals. They use the actions to show, to demonstrate that they have this. Okay? Which means that when you value bond people, you don't go and tell them, hi, business owner, this is a value bond. You don't say that. Okay? And as much as you can, don't say that, oh, this is a sales call. Okay, you don't speak in meta language. You don't describe what you do. You just go and do it. Okay? So regardless of what these questions are, you have to demonstrate your clarity. Okay? In the online space, the end part of our work is a sales call. But the process leading up to it is always content, conversation, or calendar, and then close. In our internet space, this thing does not change. Okay, the only difference is that the content can be paid or organic. Means it comes from ads, or like me, all my content is purely organic. I just post it manually. Okay, and there are some other businesses that run ads all the time, but it's the same. It is content. Okay, this one may or may not have. Sometimes the paid ads just go straight to a call, and you come in to do this. Okay, the essence is always the same. Problem aware, process aware, solution aware. Okay, so if someone asks to you, what is closing? Okay, you always answer that. Okay, the big three, me as a closer, my job focuses on getting three things done. First, is the prospect problem aware? Are they even aware that they have a problem that needs to be solved? It's so significant and so urgent that it needs to be solved now. My job is to sell them the problem aware. People don't search for a process unless they are having a problem. Them having a problem that they must solve now motivates them to start searching for potential processes. So me as a salesperson, my next step is then to sell them your signature process. Okay, once they buy into the process, like this is the one process I need. I'm not going to look at your competitors. Like I believe in your process. I will then sell them the solution. Okay, so this is your standard answer, and it should be your actual understanding, okay, of what we do in this space. Okay. This one will get answered by this. Okay. This one is the DMP. With the belief that they must solve this matter. The belief that they can't do it on their own. The belief that your offer is helping people like them, what's your them, okay, and then these are the internal beliefs. And then there's going to be some external beliefs that are unique to the product that you're selling, right? Could be that to succeed, you must master your subconscious mind. Okay, or whatever your product is selling, like to lose fat, you must have a keto diet. Okay, these kind of beliefs are specific to the product that you're selling. Okay, so this one has got to do with the buyer's journey. Okay, you must understand that every prospect goes through this cycle. Okay, these are not very common questions. Okay, does anyone have any interview questions that you'd like to practice?
Wow. why should we hire you?
Very good. Okay, so a lot of these questions, do not be intimidated by them and do not look at it from a perspective of I'm in trouble and I don't know how to answer. Okay. If this were a closing call and the person say, okay, let's say Lian, you are selling my program, okay, for mindset coaching. Okay. Actually, all I've been doing for you guys is coaching you on your mindset, okay? And you guys are in my mindset coaching program. And someone comes to you and say, Lian, you have transformed like over the months. Initially you didn't talk as much, you weren't as confident, but over the last few months I can see that, oh wow, you're posting, you're making videos. Like I feel like you've changed. And they didn't talk about sales, they didn't talk about anything. They just talk about you and I feel that you've changed. So you say, well, I'm working with a coach, right? And if you're interested, I can share more with you. And you meet this friend, right? Which is a prospect, which is a sales call. And they're like, oh wow, so this coach is in Singapore, right? He's been helping you with your mindset, your beliefs, your confidence, your self-expression, your clarity, your schedule, right? Your daily performance. And then they're like, I need this kind of mindset coaching, this kind of accountability, right? And can you tell me more about how much you invested and what are my options if I want to work with this coach? Then suddenly, as you are walking them through my offer, they turn around and say, but why should I work with him? I can study this on YouTube for free. It's that kind of thing, right? This kind of question is that kind of a thing, which is like, you qualify yourself to me. So if you take it personally and you do a lot of programs will teach this, they'll say, oh, I don't know. Why should I work with your company? You'll see a lot of people posting this kind of retorts on Facebook, right? But it's not realistic. It's not realistic. Okay? First, you have to be very respectful. You have to be very respectful. And so at this point, I don't really know yet. I would say that, first of all, I'm a professional. And whatever I promise, I will get it done. And there's still a lot for me to learn, but I do my best. And you're asking this because, is there no specific criteria that you're looking for in your salespeople? What did I just do?
Repeat back.
Yes, I diffuse the tension, right? I don't want to sound defensive. I'm humble, right? I take full accountability. I don't try to sound like some superstar where I say like, okay, I'm still figuring this out, right? And the reason I can be so confident being humble, okay, I repeat, the reason I can be so confident being humble is because I know that the whole time I have already pre-sold everyone on my professionalism, so I don't have to flex. My PMP does the flexing for me. I don't have to flex anymore. I can just be humble and respectful. Like, I don't try. Okay. And I ended my statement with a
Question.
yes. What does the question do, Elsa?
They have to answer. You have to think about it and then you have to answer you again. Keep the conversation going.
No. They asked me, why should I hire you? What was my question at the end?
You ask like, why is it something that you ask? Is there like some criteria that you are looking for?
Yes, why did I ask them for the criteria?
Mm, I'm not too sure.
Because I want to hack. Yeah?
So to pack their what? Sorry?
Because I want to hack their
Oh, hack their ICA?
no, their decision-making
Oh,
process.
okay.
And the way I ask has to be very inviting. It's going to sound something like, I'm not sure at this point. I'm still new to this. I'm still figuring this out. I have been working very hard to make sure that I understand the full closing process from the start of generating a lead all the way to booking a sales call to enrolling them in your high ticket offer. And the reason you're asking that, is it because like there's specific criteria that you're looking for in a salesperson? Okay, first I acknowledge the question and I answer it professionally. I'm not trying to bypass or sidestep the question. I address the question head on. Why should we hire you? I don't know at this point, but I can say, here's what I bring to the table. Here's what I understand your company does. And by the way, are you asking this because there's a specific criteria? If I answer their question properly, I don't make them feel that I have something to hide. I don't make them feel like I'm trying to sidestep. I answer it properly. They will resonate with that and say, oh yeah, actually, we're asking that because we have hired, some salespeople recently and they really weren't a fit. Okay, now I know why they asked this. It turns out that they weren't trying to be difficult with me. They legit had a real concern, and I'll be like, so what's the problem with the previous salespeople? Okay, I will dig deeper into the decision-making process. So if you listen to my interviews, you'll realize that the whole call, I'm doing this all the time. I'm answering them very sincerely, and I end it with a question. I answer them very sincerely. Sometimes, not the best answer. And I end it with a question. And you will see that they start telling me why they asked this, why they asked this, why they asked this. And I will keep looping this until I have full clarity on how they think when they buy. Okay, so this whole skill set of hacking someone's DMP is something you absolutely have to master. If at the end of a role play, at the end of your interviews, at the end of your sales calls, and please record all your calls. I don't want a scenario where I say, where's the recording? I forgot. Okay, you forget, your accountability partner do 50 push-ups. Okay. If I listen to your recording, okay, then I ask you, Elson, what is your prospect's DMP? And you cannot answer me, you cannot produce a checklist of things that they are looking for when they buy. Okay, it means that you're not closing them. You're just taking information and then passing it around. You're not actually closing. You must see how your prospect decides. And a lot of times this is invisible. Yeah, I give you a very simple exercise. Okay? Ian, do you know what Elsa looks for in a girlfriend?
A girl who believes in Christ.
Oh, not bad. So Elsa, is it correct? Okay, anything else?
Who understands him very well.
Oh, see, he's nodding. Okay, so yes, Ian, you have mastery over his decision-making process for a girlfriend. Okay, it's more or less there. So you need to have the same clarity on a sales call. Like you just talk and then the prospect goes. Like they have nothing to say because why? You have said it better than they could. If you can do that on a sales call, okay, and your prospect said, why do I feel like you're reading my mind? Okay, then this is proof that you are a master at doing this. Okay, and masters do not talk about this. Just keep quiet and do your thing. Okay, do not say that, okay, so this is your decision-making process. Yes, so do not talk meta language. Okay. So tell me more about you. Okay, what are your experiences? Okay, same story cell. Flip it back to them. Talk about them. Okay, then hack their decision-making process. Okay, there are some really wild ones that we will deal with it as it comes. But no matter what the variation is, as long as you know that this 4C is the essence, okay, these beliefs are the essence, okay, these three big closes are the essence, you will never go wrong. Because all business owners want this. Okay? these beliefs about the offer's signature process, you have to do your research. You have to do your research on what are some like potentially the core beliefs that this company interviewing you, what do they require their prospects to believe in? If it's a fitness company, do they need a prospect to believe that if you don't control what you eat, you will fail? You have to write it down, prepare. Okay, then you attend an interview, you say, I know that one of your core beliefs in your signature process is that to succeed, your prospects must control what they eat. Okay, this shows your professionalism that you have done your research and you know that in a DMP, this belief needs to be addressed. Okay, so now I'm going to role play with Vincent. Okay, I am myself. Okay, I am a sales slash mindset coach. I have the complete closer. I have the complete thinker. It's a new thing that I'm building. Okay, and Vincent, you have never met me before. Okay, I've just made a hiring post and then you send in your application. And then here we are on the first interview. Okay, let's do it question by question. And the first thing I say, hey, Vincent, thanks for coming on this call with me. And yeah, tell me more about yourself.
Yeah, can I also go toilet? I also want to go toilet.
Okay, go and come back quickly.
Thank you.
Yes.
Then,
Okay, let's wait for them. Okay, so Vincent, tell me more about yourself.
My name is Vincent. So I have been doing sales for 12 years. And since COVID, I realized there are lots of people, they need mindset coaching, and they are coming into the online space. And I'm thinking I want to transition myself from doing the typical 9 to 5. And when I when I was doing some research, I come across your hiring post and your contents. So I have watched a few videos of yours, and I come across your videos helping a lot of people in in the similar positions like myself who need mindset coachings. And when I see your hiring post, immediately I think it is an opportunity for me to understand more about your offer, and there's a reason why I applied for the position.
Very good. Very good. Okay. So you can add a bit of technical things that are unique to me. Anything that comes to mind?
So I'm not someone who is green from a program, but
No, as in
I'm
specific terms that are unique to my business.
So typically, my closing philosophy is to provide clarity to business owners and to their prospects. I don't
No,
know
not
whether
not
it's
not
counted.
yours. Mine,
Not
the
yours.
business
Oh,
one.
yours.
Yes.
For yours, okay. For yours, um, so when I was going through some of your videos, I realized the complete closer program that you talk about is very helpful to people who are new in the industry or who are stuck in the industry and they want to grow and they want to expand. I don't know whether that's counted.
Talk about my ICA and my competitors, and based on your research, what is it about my approach that is different from my competitors, and how does this purpose and vision uh, make an impact for you? Because that way, you don't come across as someone who, oh, I applied to 10 different positions, and I hope that I can just get one. It shows that you really prepared for this role.
Okay. Let me think. Okay. I will say something like, so when I watched some of your videos, I realized that um what makes you stand out among compared to a lot of the other coaches is you have really started from the ground and you demonstrated your experience from zero to where you are today. And I think that it resonates very well with me, being someone who used to be new, and that was exactly what I needed. And that is the reason why I like to understand more about understand more about the positions.
Okay, very good. So what you did correctly was you wrapped up your whole answer by linking back to this.
Yeah.
You didn't run away from the question, right? You started about yourself, and then you ended with how this resonates with you. You're still talking about yourself, but that huge chunk in between, you didn't really blabber about your family history, your goals, you want to go on vacation. You didn't give me any of that, right? You made it about my benefit. Okay, so to be precise, okay, you want to study the business owner really well as much as you can. Okay, if it's an online business and you cannot find anything online about them, it's a red flag. Okay, so it will sound something like, okay, my name is Vincent, and I was originally from Malaysia, but I've been working in Singapore, and I have 12 years of B2B sales experience. And I have been wanting to transition to the online space, and as I was doing so, I came across, your Complete Closer brand, and I noticed something really important, which is that you are different from the other sales coaches because a lot of them we don't know who they've closed before, who they've closed for before. We don't know their history, but you're very transparent. You put all your calls, your interviews, previous companies that you work for, on your LinkedIn, and uh, this means a lot for me because I'm someone who wants to walk the path that you have walked. And by you helping other closers who cannot find a proper mentor, it inspires me, first of all, to improve my sales skills. At the same time, uh, hopefully I can help be part of your movement, to help closers become the best versions of themselves. Okay, so what have I done here? I have addressed the question of I'm talking about myself. At the same time, I also demonstrated that, look, I know your company. I know what sets you apart. I know your mission, and I hope to be part of that. Okay, if they were to ask you, why should I hire you? The answer would be pretty much the same. Okay, it's all demonstrating that I am doing my best to match your decision-making process. Okay. Now let's say that, okay, this was a brilliant answer. And then question two, they say, wow, I like that. Vincent, you have done your research. You even know my program and what sets me apart. And not just that, like, my bigger purpose and it's aligned with yours as well. So I like that. And I've seen, your one pager, I've seen your PMP, and I like that it's consistent with, who I'm speaking with now. So what's your general approach when you do sales? Do you have like a specific way that you do sales?
So thank you for going through my one pager, first of all. So I call myself the clarity closers. So in my opinions, when doing sales, the most important words that I need to demonstrate to my prospect is clarity. So what does it mean is, first, I need to understand whether they are aware of their problem, the problem that they are facing. And then secondly, I need to understand whether they are aware of the process that you are offering. And thirdly, I want to sell them the solutions that you can offer to their problem. So that is, in general, my sales closing methods.
Good pause. Very good answer. So Elson, suppose now you are Vincent. And at this point, the business owner asks you, can you provide an example of that?
So how am I supposed to respond, or
Yes.
sorry, wait a second.
Okay, Leanne, save your body. Okay, let's say they ask, okay, so can you give me an example of that?
Basically like learn what their pain is, like the problem that they are facing, like make sure I really know like in and out what they are having trouble with, and then I will relate like your products, like how your process can help them get to where they want to be.
So this is the same as Vincent's answer. He's explaining the chunk in red here, yes?
Yeah.
So the business owner wants a concrete example. Like, can you share with me one example when you did this?
Like when I role play with Elson.
No role plays, a real sales example. This is a variation of the what kind of question? They're trying to ask if you have.
Experience.
Yes. And you have none at the moment, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so how will you answer when you have give a brilliant answer on, oh yeah, problem aware, process aware, solution aware, and then you say, do you have an example of that?
Ask them if they can roleplay with you right now on the spot to prove.
That's a bit combative, but of course, it depends how you say. If you say
Right.
very nicely that, okay, I don't really have experience, but we can do a short role play and I can demonstrate, that would be perfect. Okay, that's one perfect way to counter that question. Okay, very good, Elson. The other way is to say, first of all, full transparency. I am still new to this. I'm still figuring this out. Of course, you say this with full confidence, knowing that your PNP has been super strong, right? And then you can just be very humbly confident and say that, full transparency, I don't really have experience right now. But what I can say is, if you really want an example, I would say myself. So I invested in a mentor to prepare me for this. And I know that the reason I'm going to be able to, implement what I just shared about problem process solution is because I was the very first prospect that I closed. I knew what my problem was and I investigated, my mentor's process and I bought into his solution. Okay, so this is a very, how to say, it's a very professional answer. And you're almost turning your weakness into strength. Like you're not shying away from that vulnerability that you don't have experience. You're turning it to a strength. When you can display all your weaknesses up front, you have no weaknesses. As in, it's the way that you present it. So what I've just done in this answer is I have taken my whole lack of experience, okay, to say that I am my first, I have no experience, but I am my first prospect. And here's why I say that. I knew my problem. I investigated the process and I bought into the solution, knowing that in this role, this is exactly what I'll be doing for my prospects. And I can do it because I was my first prospect. So is this an example? Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes. So if you know there is an example, it answers the question. Okay, stick with it. Okay. So the thing is, Vincent actually has a lot of experience, just not necessarily in our space. So Vincent's answer would be slightly different. Okay, so Vincent, how would you answer the question of, oh, problem process? Can you give me an example of it?
I think to handle these questions, I don't know whether it makes sense, but I will try to get something that is more casual. Like, for example, I will use fitness program, let's say, for example. So
No fake examples, no imagination examples, real examples.
real examples. Can I give a fake example first?
No fake examples. And you cannot use yourself, okay? That's for Leanne and Elsa. Okay, you have to try something else.
Mhm. I try not to use my industrial experience because I think it is too technical.
No,
Yeah.
you have to use that experience.
Okay. So when problem aware is, so Sean, I have been in the machinery industry. So a lot of time, my clients, my prospects, they will buy machines from me, right? And then they will do rental to their end user. So, but they don't know how to, because the whole rental process is not as simple as it seems. So first, they need to be aware of the problem, which rental is not as easy as what they think. So I need to establish that understanding first. And then once that understanding is being established, I will go into the process which is very complicated. I don't want to complicate things because it involves amortizations, depreciations, maintenance. So there are lots of technical jargons over there. So I need to make them understand that in order for them to run the business properly, they need to have this signature process that is developed by, let's say, my company or myself. And with these solutions or with this process, they will be able to grow their rental business, machinery rental business to be specific, from where they are today to where they want to be. And even beyond what they are doing today with the variation of machine that they have.
Link that to my ICA so that it benefits me.
Yeah. So it is the same thing to Sean yourself. So a lot of people, when they come into the space of closings, they might be just out of a program, or they are stuck because they tried multiple things, but it doesn't work. So I need to make them understand that the problems that they are stuck, I need to make them understand that the whole space is not about coming out from a program and immediately you can approach your customers or approach business owner for closing. I need to make them understand that this is not as simple as what they thought. And then we will move to the signature process that is developed by you. So the complete closer program, which I've watched through, I have gone through it, which I think it could help a lot of the same type of people. And I need to sell them the dream, sell them the solutions that when they understand the process, when they implement the process, what they can achieve is beyond like what I need to make them understand that the process could help them achieving what they want to achieve, which is in your terminology, what it means is to be the complete closer, something like that.
Okay, good. Okay, and suppose, let's say, you have been following up with a prospect and they've done one call, either with me or with you previously, and they haven't been active for, let's say, a few days or even weeks. How would you revive that prospect and bring them back to a potential sale?
Interesting questions. So first of all, I think for someone who has not been connecting for a while, the number one thing is to re-establish the connections, and that would be the setting skill. Then I need to start a conversations that is relevant to them, and then finding out their problem, finding out their pains, and then to qualify them, to see if to qualify them and to understand where is their state today. And if it is then from there I will go to the qualification. If it is qualified, then we can get on a call. If it is not qualified, then I will probably see what helps them best with your content.
Okay, close. Remember, the essence is this. Okay. So for content, the variation here would be why. I know they have fallen off your calendar for a while now. So to revive this dead lead, I will need to go back to the conversations, any forms that they have submitted. Like, I want to check their history, like a medical record, and see that in the very beginning, why did they even get attracted to your content initially, right? And therefore, I will start a conversation and again see what was the existing conversation before that and see the whole context to find out what is the best way I can sell them the value of just the next step. Okay, this is a very important phrase. We're selling them the value of the next step. And I think a huge win for us is if I can properly sell them the value of having another call, because at this point they have, they are not wanting the call. They've had the call and they didn't want a follow-up call. So there must be a really good reason for them to want the call. So for example, if I saw that the last time they really wanted this thing called, let's say, guaranteed placements, I would find one of your content on, guaranteed placements. I would send it to them as a piece of value first, and then I'll follow up and say that, hey, I know that on our last call you were really concerned about this thing called guaranteed placements, and recently Sean, has a new way, right, that is actually more secure than guaranteed placements, because actually guaranteed placement is very risky. So if it helps, I can send you the resource and let me know what you think, and potentially we can have a follow-up call to actually help you build this solution. So at this point, I'll do my best to pinpoint why they started this whole thread in the first place. And if that still applies, I will use it to sell them the value of a call. And on the call, okay, assuming nothing changes, I'll do my best to understand how they make decisions, okay, how they buy, okay, and I will match your offer, your seller's process, to their buyer's journey. Okay, so it sounds like a completely different question, like how do you revive a dead lead, right? But in its essence, it's still the same thing, okay, the four C's. Okay, so one last one. Let's say they say, okay, I think so far I'm really happy with what I hear. I think you're very thorough and you know my process really well, and you have, real life experience, which I think can really benefit your work on this team. So just one final question. Let's say, okay, of course, in between the interview, there will be a lot of those minor admin stuff like time zone, available hours, salary, and that kind of things. Mm, let's say you're on a call and the prospect is fully sold on the problem, the process, and at the last moment, they say that I'll get back to you. Okay, how would you respond to that?
I will ask them what do they mean. Okay, never mind. Restart. Okay. So I will say, okay,
There's no
I need
script.
to, yeah, okay. I have the script in my mind, but I'm just thinking how to say it properly. So
Anyone want to save him?
I will say something like, let's say, you said you need to think about it, right? So I will,
No, I said I'll get back to you.
okay, you say you will get back to me. Mm,
Acknowledge.
Clarify.
There's this
okay,
TikTok. There's this
can I,
TikTok account.
can I
It's
ask you
it's two stand-up comedians, and each comedian says one word. So it's like I, and then someone take over. I. Yeah, someone say the next word. I.
M.
Next person.
I understand.
No, it's a flow. It's a flow.
Yeah,
Like I,
okay.
I,
Also,
Nelson,
M.
uh,
and then Vincent.
I don't know what is this game.
We can only say one word each.
Oh.
Okay, so I am then your turn.
I'm a closer.
No, only one word. Only one word.
Closer.
That.
N.
close.
You.
S.
Close.
What?
Closer.
That's what Elson said. Elson said closer.
No, I said no, I said you say
Oh, okay,
S, then I
okay.
say then she say closer as a closer.
Okay. Then Vincent.
Two. TOO.
As a closer to
No, that doesn't flow.
Oh, that doesn't flow.
Okay, repeat. I,
am,
Uh,
Sales.
master,
that,
can.
Play.
my,
cuts,
Arts?
cuts,
hearts.
CRDS cuts. Yeah.
Well.
And
I,
Can,
Play.
your.
Uh,
mind,
games,
super.
ber,
Super.
super.
Terribly.
Okay, so let's use this to handle the objection, okay? So I'll get back to you. What's the first word?
I.
What? I cannot hear you guys.
The first word you said was I.
Okay.
Will?
Oh, you mean we're using this game to do the objection handling?
Yeah, we are going to handle it as a team.
Okay,
So
okay,
I'll get back
okay,
to you.
okay.
Awesome.
Okay, Elson, start.
Um, what
Do.
You.
And Elson, continue.
mean
By.
Getting.
back
To.
You.
Oh, what I meant was I need some time to think about it.
sorry. I
Mean.
What?
Good.
I mean what? Okay.
Okay.
Elson.
I can't think of anything. I mean what? Like what do you want me to say?
Yeah, what? After what? Come on. You guys gotta be fast, man.
I
Yeah.
am trying to think. I can't think of anything. You say what like
You just need one word. After what?
what did Lian say again? I can't remember.
I mean what?
I mean what? I
Why always I?
No, it's you guys can say anything as long as it flows. Okay, so I mean what I
Say.
Is.
to
What? Good.
to
Understand.
hmm.
Process.
better
No. It's in the script. Is it process? It's in the
solution.
script. No, it's in the script. When someone says I need more time, you say
Uh-huh.
process what?
Wise.
Ah, yes, finally.
And do you 100%?
Process wise. And you say 100%.
Okay, let's count that as one word. Okay, it counts because it's in the script.
Do.
Also, process 100%. Yes, process wise, I would say yeah, process wise, I'm sold.
Um okay, so um time,
No, it's I have done a lot of these calls.
Oh, I thought it's
Because I have no
that's two,
concern.
two
I'm
already.
fully sold.
Oh, so
I'm
no,
fully sold
okay.
on the process.
Okay, so I
Have
Done.
uh
not
Off.
this
solved
You.
You?
you like you.
Yeah.
I have done a lot of these calls. You?
So I ask you a question, you have you done all these calls?
No, I'm not asking a questions.
Okay.
It needs to flow, Vincent. I have done a lot of these calls.
Yeah.
Next word, Vincent.
No, I,
It's and.
yeah. And
Typically
Yes. Yes.
when people
Mm-hmm.
says
they
need
is
No, when they need more time. Elson,
oh
yours is more time.
more
time
what
they
usually
men,
is
no
but
after
looking
after what?
looking
At
our
process
but
No, but
uh,
after looking at our process,
after looking at the process,
when someone says they need more time, typically it's a no. But after looking at our process, if
you
your
think, yeah,
Elson is correct, if your
me person
Lian, if your
decision
is
still
yes,
oh, it's a no.
it's a no.
Okay.
you
can
Be
honest
with
me.
No, I'm not saying it's a no. I quite like your process. I believe in it. It's just that I need a bit more time to really look at my money, maybe move some money around. And yeah, can I get back to you next week?
um I
Wait. What is the purpose of the first loop? It is to isolate
the first loop is to isolate the process
then the second loop is to isolate the
decision.
decision, right? So now you've already eliminated that it's not a no.
Yeah.
So you want to clarify that, hey, if it's not a no, is what I'm hearing a yes? If
Okay.
so, what's your thought process looking like? Like, what are some of your concerns? Okay. At this point, a bunch of trigger words are gonna fall out. It's like, no, like I said, it's not a no. I'm quite slow on your process. It's just because right now, I have a lot of thoughts in my mind, and this is a lot to take in. So, what's the trigger word here?
money
No.
a lot of
You're
Yes.
taking.
It's a lot. It's a lot. So, I'm hearing that, you're saying there's a lot. So shall we, while I'm still here, shall we just, look at what some of those concerns might be and see if, we can come up with a solution that can best help you? Maybe not now, but down the road. Okay, sure. One of my main concerns is actually I don't know if this will work for me. Okay, now any one of you can just say out your line, okay? Imagine this is an interview and the business owner just said, I don't know if this is going to work out for me. That's why I need more time.
I can understand your concern, because when I first joined the program, I didn't know whether it will work for me as well. And then I will start storytelling.
You need to clarify what's workout first. Okay, so how would you guys clarify workout?
So what do you mean by workout?
Okay, you need to acknowledge first. So I myself, when I invest, I always want to make sure that it will work out for me as well. But when you say workout, then you say, Alson, what you say, right? What do you mean when you say workout? So by working out, I think it's a bunch of things. First, currently I am in 9 to 5. So when I get home, I don't have much time, maybe 3 to 4 hours a day, although I'm free on the weekends. And I'm wondering, at this kind of a pace, will I be left behind? Like, will I be too slow? Because I don't have as much time as a full-timer getting into this program.
Okay, I can understand. And I had the same issue. And we start to do storytelling from there, depending on the offer.
So you need to clarify more, Vincent, because when you're saying that I might be left behind, I might not have enough time.
How much?
What do you mean by don't have enough time or you're being left behind?
Maybe I will ask questions like, when you say you don't have enough time, like how much time do you allocate a day normally for this?
So he has said that every day he has 3 to 4 hours and weekends he's free. Okay, so here you need to actually assure him that, okay, in our program, okay, you just need to give us 3 hours a day for your weekdays, and weekends you do 6. Can you give us that? Okay, but I'm worried I'll be left behind. So this program is completely self-paced. You don't have to compare with anyone else. You just need to do the steps that our coach lays out for you, and you deliver them on time. You will be on time to hit your own goals. Like, you don't need to compare with anyone. Okay. So does this make you feel more assured that like your schedule can actually handle this? So I need to check if this left behind thing is concerned, as in is fulfilled. Okay, and then earlier on you said that there's still a lot like on your mind. So is there anything else that might be holding you back? Okay, so I remember now, Lee, and I said COI versus ROI versus CONI, right? So this is probably, you guys need to memorize this by heart, okay? It's probably the most common objection handling that might come out on your interviews as well, because they really want to make sure their closer can handle these kind of objections. And the real reason why people stall is a very simple reason, right? I invest this, let's say 1K with you, or 7K, or whatever the investment is. It's not that I don't want to invest. It's if you tell someone you put in $1, you get $2 back. Okay, who wouldn't invest, right? So it's not a case of I don't have that $1. It's more of a case of,
Will it get me $2?
yes, it's my ROI. So people are motivated by a combination of both, which is, can I get back my ROI? That's one. And juxtaposed means compared with, what is the cost if I don't invest? This term is called CONI, the cost of not investing, or CONK, the cost of not knowing, depending on which one is more suitable, but it's the same thing. It's just like the Complete Closer program, right? What is the cost of you guys not knowing all these things that I'm teaching?
I will still be lost.
Right? And that's time you're not getting back. You probably, do your old routine, which is role play, take selfie, and that kind of things. So there is a very real cost of not investing, and the prospect might not realize that. They might feel that I can save my 1K, I can save my 7K, right? Then I will be 1K richer, then I'll be 7K richer. So why should I invest? Okay, so then let's lay out you don't have to invest. Okay, I understand that you might want the time to think through all these numbers. So while I'm still here, let's map out some potential scenarios, right? So if you save that money, right? Let's say now you have that 5, 7K saved. Your bills are like 1, 2K per month. Okay, that in like 3 months, it will all be wiped out. And you probably need to keep working to keep those savings replenished. It's true that if you invest, okay, you're gonna lose that 5 to 7K. It's a risk, it's an investment, right? And I'm not guaranteeing that you will make $2 back for every $1 back. Okay. But when the time comes and you can speak to any business owner, you can close them on any interview that you self-source. You know that anytime if you were to lose all your savings, you can always fall back on this skill, which is to find a company with a good offer and close them to let you close for them. You always have this skill to fall back on. Let's not even talk about how much money you make, but this skill that you can always fall back on for life. How much is that worth?
Infinity.
Okay, you can use a spreadsheet to write it out if there are more numbers based. If we tell you that, oh, I work as an accountant before, right? I work with like some numbers thing before, right? Then you can use a spreadsheet. If there are more visual like text, and maybe they work as a teacher or the more academic person, you can open a Google sheet and write this out, right? And you have to just make sure that look, we don't have to have a sale today because we don't want to drag or force or make people feel like they're forced into this program. Like my job here is to make sure that you're making the best decision for yourself with full clarity on what we have to offer. And if we don't end up enrolling today, so be it. But my job here is to give you full clarity. Okay, so dealing with this time objection thing, there's always a lot of concerns going into this time. It's not really time. Right? So your skill as a sales professional is to diffuse that resistance to say that, come on, man, when people say time, it's never really time, right? It's either like, I'm not saying that it is you, but I've done a lot of these calls, and sometimes it's money, sometimes they're concerned if they can get their investment back. And my role here is not to force a sale or enrollment. My role is to make sure that you have full clarity on anything that potentially plays out in the future. You can see like every scenario properly. So do I have your permission to, walk you through the potential different scenarios? Right. So one, now is the two parts is loop number 3 really. It's already you save your money. Okay, how much are the bills? Okay, 2,000 per month. So that's like 3 months of savings. You can play defense, save it for 3 months. Okay, by that time, if you talk to me after the savings have depleted, it might be too late. Like now, you still have 3 months of runway. Okay, let's get you into the program. Let's help you start closing. Okay, and then you have the 3 months too. You have like that 30-day period. Even your first month, it doesn't work out. You get your full money back, no questions asked. So why not give yourself that chance to just test this out? Okay, just make the deposit. Okay, try it out for your first month. Let the coaches take over. Let them help you find that first offer. Unless, there are some other concerns, like they might be moving house or they need to talk to their spouse, like whatever it is. So time is never time. Your skill in getting them to tell you the truth is in your tonality, is in your support. That's why I told Leanne, you have to memorize your lines, because if you haven't even got to the part where you memorize your lines, you cannot inject this kind of tonality to make them feel that you're going to help them cross this objection together. You need a lot of the right energy, emotion, tonality. But if you don't even memorize your lines, you're busy trying to capture the words, looking at the script, getting to say that, then the whole thing will feel off. Okay, so there are layers to this. Memorizing is the first layer, and then your emotions and your support. Okay, so I can see that you are quite well equipped to handle the time objection, although there are some things that I would change that. But overall, I think you are one of the top candidates and I will let you know when I make a decision. Okay, so at this point, you know what they will ask you? They will ask you, do you have any questions? Okay, so Elson, to prevent another situation from the past from happening. Now the floor is yours. Now they are like, hey, also I'll get back to you on my final choice. But by the way, do you have any questions? Okay, this is not a moment to say no. Okay, you should never say no, no question. Okay, you should always have questions. It shows that you're prepared. It shows that you know what you want. Okay, your questions actually show your substance. Okay, so Elson, any questions?
Yeah. On average, how many people are in your pipeline waiting to be closed?
I would say on average, we have 5 calls booked per day. And currently, I'm taking all those calls myself, which is insane because I am actually starting to cancel some of those calls because I just don't have the headspace to deal with them. And across my social media, there are like hundreds of prospects and new leads that are just flooding my pipelines. So without me actively chasing them, there are already on the average 5 calls coming in per weekday. So if you're able to, help me sweep up all these loose leads on my Facebook, LinkedIn, and Instagram, I'm pretty sure that you can get at least 10 calls a day on my 5 that are coming in and another 5 that you get yourself.
Yeah, that sounds great. Um, will I be the one in control of texting, like setting them to get on a call, or will you be the one doing that instead?
I used to be the one doing that, but I haven't tended to them for like weeks now. So definitely I need help with texting as well.
If it's possible, can I get access to your social media accounts?
Oh, yes,
If
for sure.
okay.
Definitely.
And one more thing I'll need from you is it possible to gain access to your course so that I can at least understand what is it that you are selling
Oh,
or
yes.
understand it to a
Yes,
deeper level?
you will have full access to all my programs.
Okay. Yeah, I think that's about it. I don't have any other questions.
You need to check your commissions and you need to check
Oh yeah,
client testimonials.
and testimonials,
Okay, you
commissions.
need to check previous sellers and closers, right? Is this the first time you're hiring? What happened to the last seller? What happened to the last closer? Okay, whenever you're in doubt, just think of your previous experience. You did not establish the commissions. You did not establish the work rhythm, the schedule, okay, the deliverables. Okay, you did not establish a trial window of, is it possible to, for both of us, let's have like 10 days for me to study a program, familiarize with yourself, and in that time, we can set some preliminary like KPIs. If, I can hit them, it knows that, then it shows that I can stay, I can perform. And, if in that 7, 10 days we both find that, it's not working out, then we don't have to lock it in. We can just have like some kind of a trial probation period. Do you have anything like that? Okay, this 7 to 10 days, it prevents you from signing on to something that is very hard to wash your hands off. Okay, so check commissions, okay, previous sellers or closers, okay, client testimonials. Okay. So,
And trial probation period lah. Or that one
yes.
don't need to say.
No, you must say like because you need to
Okay.
ensure that you do not commit to anything long term before you actually like investigate that kind
Okay.
of a thing. Okay,
Okay.
and don't try to take control of the call. As in, don't sound like you're integrating them. You have to
Right.
have like a more like humble. Oh, but by the way, like just act a bit blur.
Okay.
Because your questions itself already show how sharp you are. If you still have a
Right.
sharp tone, they will feel like, oh, this guy, like, who does he think he is, right? He's applying to my job, and I still have to, answer him all the questions. So you have to ask like very humble, act a bit blur, that kind of thing. Okay? So this covers the interview. Any other weird like variations, it will always go back to one of the essence, the beliefs, the 4 Cs, the 3 big sales. Okay. So we'll deal with more variations the more you guys have, bring up more questions and we can just go through them. But for now, this is the general template. Any questions just on interview?
No.
Mm,
Your background, both of you, bare minimum needs to be like Vincent. Okay,
I'm at my grandma's
well,
house, so
it's well lit. Okay, he's dressed properly. Okay, and it's fully well framed. So Lian, yours is well framed. Okay, but your light is a bit dim. You look at Vincent's light. Okay, yours is a bit dim, and both of you basically need to rearrange your backdrop. Whether you're at your house, your grandma's house, anytime you take a call, you need a backdrop. Okay, you
background.
need to be properly dressed. Okay, you
can
need
I
to
just
be.
blur it?
That's one way, yes. Okay, or really like worst case scenario, use a professional branded background. I can help you with that. Okay,
Yeah,
but
sure.
to make your business owner feel secure that you're able to take the calls for them in a professional environment, you need to go do up like mine. Okay, I don't know what you have to do, Lian. Shift your cupboard, put a nice plant, put a small lamp. Okay, but do something to like revamp. Okay,